New shoe day, one of the best days of the week. Today we are unboxing and reviewing the Saucony Peregrine 15, the latest iteration of Saucony's legendary trail running shoe. We'll compare it to last year's model, the Peregrine 14, highlighting what's new, what's improved, and then we'll take it on the trail to see how well it performs. Stick around for my first run impressions and the final verdict. Hey everyone, I'm Alexander Tucker and welcome back to the channel. If you are into trail running, ultra races, gear reviews, then you are in the right place. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that bell icon so you never miss an adventure. So today, let's look at the Saucony Peregrine 15, breaking it down my first impressions, and then we'll take it out for a run for our first run review. This box is damp because I left it out in the rain last night. As you can see, it's a little squishy on the side here, but fortunately, the shoe is in good shape. Still looks and smells like new, so don't worry about that. Wouldn't really matter anyways because the Peregrine is bulletproof. Leave it out in the rain, the snow, the sleet, hail. It's kind of like the post office, it just keeps delivering. But first, before we get into the 15, let's talk briefly about the Peregrine. I have been running in them for over 12 years and I've loved almost every one of them. They are a very versatile trail shoe with a neutral footprint that gives you a lot of life for your value. I have had multiple pairs of every single version released. Even here, I got two stinky pairs of the last versions, 13 and the 14. This here is the 14. Last year's version of the Peregrine 14 wasn't as strong for me. The new heel caused a lot of rubbing, especially on the technical steep terrain going up and down. So I spent more time running my ultra distance races and long runs in the Saucony Exodus Ultra 2. The 14 had a real stiff, rigid heel, which would dig into your heel after some of those really long runs. But last weekend, I dusted off a pair of brand new Peregrine Model 13s, something that I'd had in storage for quite a while, and ran 47 miles in the Grand Canyon, which was awesome. Yes, these were new 2 weeks ago. And the heel was not an issue. The 13s had a really nice heel. They were a little narrow in the toe box, which is something that I feel after a long distance, a little bit of pinching in the pinky toe. But the rest of that, the shoe was really great. I was a big fan of the 13s, a little drop in quality with that stiff and rigid heel on the 14. So as you can see, I'm a Peregrine pal for life. But if the 13 had a narrow toe box and flexible heel, but the 14 was really rigid and tight, but it had a nice toe box, what will that say about the 15? Right out of the box, the Peregrine 15 looks sleek and ready for action. That's one of the great things about this shoe. It always does. It's hot and ready like a pizza, but also sleek and really capable for action. It's why I've been running in them since the release of their first shoe. Compared to the 14, the 15 maintains the exact same 4mm drop with a 20mm heel and a 24mm forefoot stack height, keeping that low profile and responsive feel that lots of trail runners have come to love about this shoe. One of the standout upgrades is the new Powerun midsole. It's a bit softer than the previous version of the 14, providing a cushioned yet responsive ride without sacrificing the ground feel, which is what you really want from a shoe like this. Light, responsive, but also durable. The addition of the Powerun Plus cushioning and a sockliner is supposed to enhance comfort, making the shoe feel more forgiving on long runs, so we'll have to see about that. So moving from the mid to the upper, the Peregrine 15 features another high strength mesh with reinforced protection in the abrasive areas. This 360-degree wraparound rand here helps keep out moisture from the shallow puddles and wet grass that you might be running through, offering what would hope to be enhanced protection in technical terrain out there on wet and muddy, maybe some loose gravel trails. That does go all the way around. Compared to the 14, the upper does feel secure and comfortable. The fit does feel true to size after trying it on with a medium width, allowing for adequate space for natural toe splay in the toe box. Now, it does seem like Saucony is trying to work with the heel again. The heel counter is slightly higher than the previous version, providing hopefully a better lockdown on steep descents, maybe even a lock-in on your steep ascents as well. But we'll have to wait and see on that. It does feel pretty stiff and rigid, which is exactly the problem that I had in my last shoe. And now onto the outsole. The Peregrine 15 sports a newly formulated Powertrak rubber compound, Powergrine. I'm coining that term, the Peregrine. A newly formulated Powertrak outsole with 5mm lugs, which is what they've had in the past, 5mm. They're designed to enhance with traction across various surfaces, including all loose, technical and hopefully wet terrains. This is one of the issues that they've had in the past, is that it does really, really well on grippy dry surfaces, but the wetter surfaces that might be a little slicker, whether it's stream beds, river beds, muddy, snowy terrain, can be a little slippery. Now, the previous 14's outsole was pretty impressive, but the updated Powertrak coverage and updated lug pattern on this one should improve durability and grip. That added 4-foot rock guard, which they have on all their shoes, provides extra protection on technical terrain, making the shoe even more versatile. This thing weighs in at about 9.7 ounces for the men's US 9. That makes it slightly lighter than the Peregrine 14, which weighed around 9.8 ounces. And this reduction of weight hopefully will contribute to a lighter, more dynamic feel with the shoe overall. Now, after trying it on, the Powerun foam in the 15 feels like a softer version of the 14, hopefully providing more of a cushion ride while not losing any responsiveness to the shoe. This will make it more suitable for both technical terrains and longer distances. And that's one of the complaints from earlier Peregrines, that it just wasn't cushion enough for longer distance runs. Once you put those longer and longer miles in, your feet get tired. I never really faced that issue. I did find that I could basically do whatever distance I needed to in this, depending on the terrain. That could be really helpful if that Powerun is adding just a little bit more life to your foot. So those are all the technical details, but there's really only one way of knowing for sure, and that's to lace them up, take them out for a trial run. I've never really had problems putting the Peregrines on and just running without any significant break-in periods. That's one of the reasons I keep coming back to this shoe. So hopefully that's the case today, and I can complete my 90-minute tempo run in them. Stick around, we'll see how they did. Let's go. And we're back from a wet, slippery, and muddy tempo run, trying out the new shoes on a training run for Bighorn 100. As we pull these out and take a look, first reactions. Big improvement over the 14. I gotta be honest, I like these a whole lot more than the last ones. It was only a 90-minute tempo run, but they got worked out there in the conditions today. Nothing like really throwing your new shoes to the ringer to try them out. See how they stand up. And so far, so good. Saucony has seemed to have solved that stiff issue with the heel that I had from the last one. Yes, it was pretty wet out there, but I was slipping around quite a bit in these things, and I'd consider that to be more of a factor of the wet terrain and the new set of feature socks that I had, these trail running socks, which I'm a big fan of features, by the way. But this is a very thin trail running sock, and next time I'd probably go up with a slightly thicker trail sock for this shoe, since I like to go up half a size in my trail shoes and have them really, really tight. So after taking the Peregrine 15 out for a spin, here's what I noticed. The shoe offers an excellent traction on both dry and wet surfaces, thanks to this updated outsole. Cushioning is much more comfortable than the previous shoe, and it feels pretty secure, even on the steep technical descents, in spite of the slippery and wet terrain today. Again, one thing I did notice is that they have improved the heel lock issue that we had with the 14 with a higher heel, which provided better lockdown, but it could cause a bit of a rubbing at the top of the heel, which might be an issue for longer runs the more you keep the shoe. But it's just something to keep an eye on. So far, it feels pretty good. So comparing the two side by side, the 15 to the 14, the most notable differences are the midsole and the upper. The 15's Powerun foam is softer, offering a more cushioned ride, and the upper offers more of a secure fit. The outsole seems updated for improved traction and durability, which I did notice in this terrain today on the wetter, slippery rocks, which is a place that previous iterations of the Peregrines have often lacked. So while the 14 was already a solid trail shoe, the 15 takes it a step further with these improvements, making it a much more versatile option for various trail conditions. So what's the final verdict? The Saucony Peregrine 15 is definitely a worthy success successor to the 14, with notable improvements in cushioning, fit, and traction. It's a durable, versatile shoe that's ready for just about any adventure. So if you are looking for a trail shoe that can handle anything from technical descents to long distance runs, the Peregrine 15 is worth considering. That is it for today. Thanks for watching. If you found this review helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more gear reviews and trail adventures like this. And have you tried the Peregrine 15? Love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. I appreciate y'all taking time with me today. I am grateful to each of you, wishing you all the best out there in the trail. Stay safe, happy trails, and take care.